Today is about a car that's been waiting here for nearly 20 years, a 1990 C4 Corvette with a 6-speed manual.
And for almost 20 years, it hasn't moved an inch. Hidden away inside an old barn, covered in dust, forgotten by time. Today, we're gonna find out if this American legend still has one more chance to come back to life. Most people would look at this car. Sometimes it's a collection of memories, waiting for someone to bring them back.
Over the next few days, we're going to clean it, restore it, try to start it for the first time in 2 decades, and hopefully return it to the man who never stopped loving it. Back in 1990, this Corvette cost just over $32,000. Adjusted for today's money, that's close to $80,000. Before we even think about cleaning it, there's one question everyone wants answered. Will it actually start?
Fortunately, turning the key doesn't give us the miracle. The dashboard lights come alive, but the engine refuses to crank. After 20 years, that's not exactly surprising.
Surprisingly, the engine bay doesn't look nearly as bad as we expected. There are signs that mice tried to make themselves at home, but thankfully the wiring still looks mostly untouched. That's already a good sign.
That means there's only one option left. We're bringing in the trailer. Because if this Corvette won't drive out of the barn, we'll pull it out ourselves.
For the first time in nearly 20 years, this Corvette finally sees daylight again. And honestly, it looks even worse outside the barn. But before we even think about polishing the paint, there's one step we can never skip. The pre-wash lifts years of dirt off the paint, helping prevent scratches during the cleaning process.
Almost immediately, the original Corvette red starts appearing beneath all that dirt. But the paint still isn't clean.
Every purple streak you see is years of embedded contamination finally breaking free. Now it's time for one of the most satisfying steps, claying the paint.
Even after washing, microscopic contaminants still hide inside the clear coat. Now comes the transformation everyone has been waiting for. Paint correction. 30 years of scratches and oxidation slowly disappear with every pass. It's hard to believe this is the same Corvette we pulled out of the barn just hours ago. With the exterior finally coming back to life, it was time to see what 20 years had done to the inside. The moment we opened the door, we knew this was going to be much worse than we expected. Every surface was covered in years of dirt and signs that unwanted guests had been living here. Before cleaning anything, we had to remove every loose piece of debris hiding inside the cabin. The vacuum quickly filled with years of dust. But this was only the beginning. Hidden underneath the dirt, we started finding stains that had been there for decades.
Luckily, many of these stains look worse than they actually are. With the right products, years of neglect begin disappearing right before our eyes. Next came the dashboard, one of the most important parts of any classic Corvette interior. Even after all these years, the original interior was still surprisingly well preserved.
The transformation was incredible, but one challenge still remained. Now that the Corvette finally looks alive again, there's only one question left. Will the engine actually run after 20 years? After bringing the Corvette back to life on the outside, it was finally time to see if the legendary L98 V8 still had a heartbeat. The first step was replacing the dead battery. Next came the old fuel. And honestly, it smelled exactly like 20-year-old gasoline should. Fresh fuel went in, and now everything depended on one simple turn of the key.
Every fluid has to be checked. Everything looked much better. 20 years later, time to turn the key.
The starter cranked. Everyone held their breath. And then incredible life, after 20 years of silence. Hearing that V8 again was something none of us will ever forget. But getting it started was only half the battle. Now we had to see if it could actually drive. The Corvette was alive again, but the biggest moment was still ahead. It was finally time to return it to its owner. After weeks of hard work, there was only one thing left to do. It was finally time to bring the Corvette home. The drive back felt completely different. Just days ago, this Corvette couldn't even move. Now it was cruising like a true American sports car again. But this restoration was never just about fixing an old car. It was about bringing back. The smile on his face said everything. For him, this wasn't just a Corvette. It was a piece of his family's story. Sometimes, restoring a car means restoring something much more important than metal and paint. Sometimes, restoring a car means important than metal and paint. Every scratch we removed, every part we cleaned, every hour we spent led to this moment. reminded us why we do restaurant car deserves one more chance. And every great memory deserves to live on.
If you enjoyed this restoration journey, let us know what classic car we should save next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more incredible automotive stories. Thanks for watching.